Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this week we got our board, the inverter board, and we went ahead and sent that off to EV Controls. So hopefully in about a week or so, we'll get that back. We'll be able to test to see if our car is working. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and continue doing some vinyl wrapping on the car interior. So let's get to it. All right, this is kind of the part of the passenger footwell, kind of on that side. And this is kind of the bottom half of the glove box. This one I've kind of already put in place and there's holes for mounting. This one I'm not, and there's not really any instructions on how this is supposed to be. From what I gather, it's not, normal glove box, this part drops down. I think on this car, that's like the top that lifts up. So anyway, I'm gonna do most of this. I'm actually gonna probably leave the very edges, like that back edge and this front edge, not tacked down, so I can kind of drill or do whatever, and then I'll kind of fully wrap it the rest of the way later. I've got the bottom part of the glove box wrapped. Again, I left the very top part not attached because I think I'm gonna have to like drill and rivet and stuff in there. So, but there's that one. And then over here, this is the kind of the footwell of the passenger. And so I just need to essentially trim all along the top here. So I have not wrapped it over because, again, I think it needs to go flush kind of against other panels or things. So this is kind of the side, and that's actually like if you were to crawl into the car and looking up at the sky, that's kind of the top part. So this is the side, that's kind of the up underneath. And again, this very bottom part, again, I didn't attach either because I've got some access points there for some screws. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Okay, the remaining items that I'm going to wrap, at least initially. So I've got this big center console. I've got the other side of this door. So we did one, that's the other one. And over here, we have the center console. I've been waiting on this one just because I wasn't sure about the controller, if it's going to work or not, and I've got this all routed for that gear selector. I've decided I'm just going to go ahead and cut up the gear selector to make it fit nice, and if the controller doesn't work, oh well. Okay, that's a cool find. I've been fiberglassing in some nuts, and I found that they kind of make some nuts that you can fiberglass in. So I'm in the process of putting some here on the back to mount my gear selector here. So I'm going to go ahead and fiberglass those in before I start wrapping this. All right, I re-fiberglassed the front there. For those who are kind of new, this was cracked, had issues from the very beginning when it was shipped. A little bit windy out here today, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this prepped to rejoin. So basically what I'm looking for, I don't necessarily need to knock out all the stuff that's like attached, but I do need to find essentially where those cracks go and try and make sure I can kind of get to the end of the crack on both sides. And then I'm just gonna fill it in with some epoxy. So had lots of damage. So, I mean, this was damaged up here, this was damaged. So anyway, I routed out the crack and filled it with epoxy. Just cleared out those cracks and any loose debris. So I think I'll try and tape it up and get it ready for some epoxy. Here we are with the tape removed. So you can see all the places where I kind of essentially enlarged all the cracks so it could fill in. And then I just put it all with epoxy. So hopefully everything looks pretty good. This is an attempt to get that to be finished, be good. So the other part here is this guy. So got those ones fiberglassed in. When it cures and sets up, I'll kind of take off all the extra, make sure that that pocket, that opening still fits the gear selector. And yeah, then we can wrap it. All right, this one was fairly easy, not a lot of curves and things. I just got to make sure that when I put all my gauges and buttons and things in that they still fit. But in general, like I said, I think fairly good. So all right, I was able to get all the instruments and buttons and things pressed through. So now we'll flip it around and show you how it looks. Okay, that is what the front side looks like. Again, got the gear selector mounted, all the buttons we kind of already verified. Start, stop, parking brake, hazards. We got the USBs and then also just the 12 volt display. So again, I think it looks really good. Really pleased. All right, got this one done. This is the other side, similar to the previous one. Got a seam there, got a seam that runs under the armrest. But I used heat, so heat, it's like a lot better for stretching, but it really doesn't help like if you got gathered material. At least I couldn't get it to help me much. So, but it, I don't know, seemed to stretch and tack down okay, so we'll call that a win. So I'm making the armrest. So I made one last week, but realized I don't really have a great way to keep it in place. I could use that contact cement, but I just thought that didn't seem like a great long-term option. So I'm going to use one of these guys again and essentially put it in place, and then I can essentially screw it from the underside of the panel, through the fiberglass, so it kind of really sucks down and it's not going to go anywhere. So I might put 2 or so of these, maybe 3, just to kind of, and then I'll put all the foam and leather wrap on top of it. So the other thing is I feel like I've improved a little bit over last week, so I'll see if I can make a better one. All right, so you probably can't tell too much, but this is the one I just did, and this is the one I did last week. So you can see with a little bit of heat and stretching, it kind of is a lot smoother. You see here, it's just kind of, I don't know, a little bit almost lumpy. I don't know if that's the right word for it. And again, still not the best, but like I said, these corners are tough. So again, but I am getting better. So again, so I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and redo this one so I can add the this guy, and hopefully the third one, I don't know, maybe it's like the 4th or 5th one now, will be better. All right, got this one done. Again, getting much better at these corners. So I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll go put it in place. So here's a wrapping progression. That was kind of first attempt, second attempt. These were without the plywood. I got the plywood, and again, it helped. But then with a little heat and experience, again, getting better and better. So those are the door panels. They're not quite done. I need to, again, where those little button snaps go, I need to cut those out. And then again, the seams, they're there. And again, around the edges there, the back. But that's looking pretty good. All right, here it is, kind of mostly complete. So again, I think it looks pretty good there. Again, along here, it's got much better at wrapping the corners and things. But yeah, I think it looks pretty sharp. And again, the plan in here is to probably try and trim this a little better, but have another piece of fabric that kind of just goes on the inside there, and then have the trim. But yeah, I think it looks good. All right, I have saved the biggest for last. I don't know if it'll be hardest yet. These recesses are always the most challenging, and I don't know that I'm going to need to do these because this one's got the kind of the display console there. This one's got where it had the gauge pods, but now it's just a flat, and this one is the glove box. So again, all of those are going to be covered. The glove box you actually will be able to open and get in here, but I think I might just do some carpeting or something else in there. Around here, again, I'm going to lay it out. It's going to come down. Again, the center part is all going to be open because another one kind of comes on top of that. So it really just has to kind of come down on the sides. And I don't think my material is wide enough. So I think it's 54 inches. So I'll have some seams kind of on the sides there. The other thing is I figure I will, the other ones I kind of did the contact cement kind of all at once. This one I'll probably do in sections. The other thing I should mention is these are kind of the dash vents, kind of defrost vents. So I got these on eBay for I think like $8, but I'm going to go ahead and cut some out of here so I can be able to set those in. All right, got those slots cut out, and these guys fit. So that's I think that's about how we wanted it. So we'll go ahead and take these out and start wrapping. All right, still got a lot of cleanup to do. Basically, I got to cut out that, and just kind of fold things down. Again, because there's other panels that go there, and I don't need a wrap there. I got this stuff kind of wrapped, and I was really impressed. So I was able to stretch it an extra inch on each side. So this is just one sheet. And again, it's kind of got some unique details here where it kind of is recessed in. Lots of, again, very unique features where how to do some creative wrapping, but very, very pleased with how this turned out. And we'll go ahead and, clean this up. And then I want to just kind of set all the things inside and see how it looks. This is kind of the finished look. A lot of these panels just need to sit down a little bit further. So you can see up here, it's kind of up high, and so they all just need to sit down there. I could like wedge them in, but then I just have to pry them back out. So I just thought, don't want to do that unnecessary amount of times. So anyway, this is kind of what it looks like. I may end up painting those up there. They don't quite match the gray, so I may paint them black or may try and get a closer gray match. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Like I said, some of these are just kind of not quite set the right way. This one needs to be set down a little bit further. There you have it. All right, I've done this a time or two now, and I'm definitely no expert, but I like to kind of share what I've learned throughout the process. So I know everybody's always wanted to do this, but I'm gonna wrap the end of a quick grip here. My thought is I just want to show kind of some complex geometry and some of the things that I guess little tips or tricks that I've learned as I've been doing this. So, all right, so for this case, we're just gonna pretend that this top surface is what we want to wrap. Nothing really kind of beyond that, just here and there. Okay, so I've got ample amount of the contacted cement on both. So here's a couple just quick tips that I've learned. So it's really tempting to just kind of want to put this over and kind of just stretch it tight and start. What I've learned is you have to find kind of your recesses. That's kind of where you want to start, because if you pull it over the top and then try and push it down, those top edges are kind of already tacked in place, and the material, I'll call it tents across. So you really can't push it down. Even if you heat it up and stuff, it just doesn't want to go down. And then if you do get it down, there's enough kind of residual, call it memory, that it wants to pop back up. So it's always going to be pulling against the contact cement, and then eventually it will pop up. So find the kind of the deepest place and start there. The other thing is, again, heat really helps it be a lot more kind of malleable, shapeable. So we'll use some heat. Okay, and once we have it kind of set in there, then we can start kind of stretching it over. I like to find kind of a straighter edge if I can to begin with. So this one's kind of straight. So I think we can use enough heat to kind of stretch that one over, and this one probably is okay. All right, so we're able to kind of get this one over, and that's okay. So again, if you get enough heat, you can see that there's, depends if it's inside corner or outside corner, it'll want to either kind of really pull the material or we want to bunch the material. So if you add some heat though, you can usually work a lot of that out. So here's one where it's going to be kind of a sharp corner. And so you can see that if you just try and kind of pull it, you get kind of a lot of material bunching. So what I've found is you need a few relief cuts. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And again, I'm assuming that like this top edge is all that we care about. So back down here, we don't care as much. So what I do is I will cut pretty close to this edge. So if we care about this edge, and then I'll kind of do maybe 2 or 3 cuts just for this corner. All right, and when I get to here, I'll actually, so again, see how it's best to describe this. So this material is going to be pulled this way. This one's going to be pulled that way, and then I'm going to do at least one more to pull this way. This one's actually kind of even beyond 90 degrees, so I might do kind of 4. But what I do is I'll make that relief cut, then I'll actually kind of go kind of around the curve in the same direction and then come back out. So not too much, just a tiny, tiny bit. And then I'll go out the direction I'm going to pull. So this one will get pulled this way, this one will get pulled this way. All right, so those are my cuts. So I'm going to pull this one, pull that one, pull this one. We'll see how it turns out. And again, heat helps. All right, and for this flat one here, again, just fold it over. But then you see how we've got, I'll call this, there's another outside corner and then an inside corner. So again, the outside corner we'll do similar here. We'll do a relief cut. The inside corner, I'll show you that one too. But we get kind of bunched up material. So again, need some relief cuts there as well, so you don't get so much material in one place. All right, so I'm not going to get much, I didn't want to necessarily do everything, but I just wanted to kind of show you some of the tips and tricks I've learned. So again, kind of push it into the recess first, heat to help stretch it around. On the corners, again, some relief cuts really help make these corners look nice. Here, on the inside there. All right, tool of the week. Gonna go with the heat gun. I will leave a link in the description below. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. See you next week.